Halloween is just around the corner, and we all know this one-of-a-kind holiday brings an incredible amount of joy in the form of fun and food. Everyone's trying to find the coolest costume and the spookiest things to do. Yes, there's an element of fear associated with the holiday, but that's what makes it so unique and enjoyable too. But one thing we never thought would scare the lights out of us is the candy. After all, it's the best part for children and adults too. The kids trick-or-treating around the neighborhoods are aware that they might come across some frightening things, but the happiness of going home with a bag full of yummy candies keeps them going. So, what happens when the sweetest and most innocent Halloween tradition becomes your worst nightmare? Don't believe that this can be true? We get that it's hard to digest, but there are actually some extremely careless and even criminally petty people out there willing to harm kids by giving them candy that could kill them. In today's video, we'll be telling you about some of the most horrifying things people have discovered inside candies. From needles to controlled substances, Halloween candy has been carrying all kinds of harmful things. Make sure you stick to the end if you want to know all about the murderous candy man who used Halloween candy to kill someone. Number 10. Nails. Finding harmful things in candy is quite the urban legend, but it turns out some insane people are committed to bringing legends to life. One such incident occurred in 2014 when Dennis Bruce's son was enjoying some of his Halloween candy with a friend, when the friend felt something metallic poke into his cheek. Turns out it was a rusty nail. The boys and their families were alarmed by this discovery. The Spokane resident, Denise, then went through all of her son's candy. As it turns out, there were metal pieces in multiple candies, including nails, staples, and even parts of watches. Thankfully, the little boy wasn't injured. The police were informed regarding this, and an investigation was carried out, but the culprit could not be traced. However, that's a lesson for all the parents to check out any outside edibles before allowing their children to eat it. Number 9. Razor blades. Tiffany Beeler was a Beaverton mom who took her 3 lovely children trick-or-treating back in 2019. But what she found afterwards gave her goosebumps. When her 13-year-old daughter, who was about to eat a Twix, she found a blade inside. The teenager panicked and brought the candy to her mother, who was, to say the least, shocked beyond her wits. She reported the incident, and the Washington County Sheriff's Office deputies warned the public to stay vigilant and check the kids' Halloween candy for tampering signs. According to the sheriff, the blade seemed to have been taken from a pencil sharpener and was found near Northwest Katama Road and Northwest Cornelius Pass Road. Beeler said that this was the first time it had happened to her. "You hear about it all the time on TV, but I've never seen anything until last night," said Beeler, while emphasizing the importance of checking your children's Halloween candy.
But before we get into it, you know what to do, guys. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos that you will find interesting, we know for sure. Now let's get back to it.
Number 8. Marijuana. Marijuana might be legalized for recreational use now, but this wasn't always the case. Not long ago, people had to come up with all kinds of creative ways to move this substance around. One such creative idea sprung in the mind of a distributor in Hercules, California. He decided to ship weed by hiding it in a Snickers candy bar wrapper. Unfortunately, his parcel filled with marijuana ended up with a postman who gave these to some kids. It was perfectly sealed and no one even considered that these bars could be tampered. But when they opened these, they found neatly wrapped cannabis buds inside of a plastic bag. Since the postman had no idea there was marijuana in these bars, he wasn't charged for involuntarily selling marijuana to minors. Number 7. Bullets. The mother of a preschooler was left astounded when the milk duds her son brought from school turned out to be packed with bullets. The 4-year-old from Peebles, Ohio was given these as a part of his preschool's trick-or-treating event. The mother ripped open all other candies and found more bullets inside. These were from a .22 caliber gun. The school, however, was unaware of this because all the candies came from various homes and anyone could have put these bullets in the candies. Was this just a prank or a serious threat? No one can tell. Number 6. Laxatives. William W. Shine, a dentist from Fremont, California, pulled a classic Halloween prank on people. In 1959, he handed out 450 heart-shaped laxatives wrapped in hard candy to the ones who were unlucky enough to show up trick-or-treating at his door. The candy obviously made the children sick. At least 30 of these kids suffered. The parents soon traced the tampered candy back to 4844 North Street, which was Shine's address. He disappeared once he realized that the police were looking for him, but one of his friends was arrested. Soon, Shine also surrendered and was sentenced to 6 months in prison with a $500 fine. Did he learn his lesson? Well, no, because a few years later he was arrested again for committing insurance fraud. Number 5. Arsenic. On October 31st, 1964, Elise Drucker and her sister Irene went trick-or-treating with a friend expecting lots of delicious candy, but when they reached Helen Thile's house, they walked right into a sinister trap. At first, the lady seemed harmless, only teased the girls about being a little old for trick-or-treating, but turns out that the housewife and mother of a teenager herself was out to get the girls. With some sugar-coated treats, she also dropped pellets of arsenic in their candy bags. Luckily for the girls, Elise and Irene's mother spread out all their candy and checked it before they were allowed to eat it, because otherwise, the consequences could have been pretty dire. Number 4. Staples. In a scary turn of events, 2 children from Texas found stapler pins in their Reese's peanut butter cups they got while trick-or-treating. These peanut butter cups came in sealed packages, and there wasn't any evidence of tampering on the outside, but the children realized something was off about this candy when they opened it up and saw that there was a hole inside the candy. Thankfully, he was clever enough to notice the staples. The consequences would have been pretty grim in case someone had consumed these. The parents are still trying to figure out where the children got this candy, but haven't found the culprit yet. Number 3. LSD. A 32-year-old mother of a 16-month-old daughter probably felt a craving for some candy while she was driving her daughter, so she reached out in the little girl's Halloween candy bag and took out a Snickers bar from inside. After eating the candy, the Salinas resident started feeling uneasy and uncomfortable. She described it like having a panic attack mixed with an element of euphoria. Later on, the mother realized that something was off about the packaging of this candy bar. There was apparently a tiny hole that should not have been there normally. According to the doctors at Salinas Valley Memorial Hospital, her symptoms were exactly like that of someone who had consumed LSD. The woman freaked out from the thought of her daughter that was given this candy while trick-or-treating, and she could have died from this dose of LSD if she had consumed the Snickers bar. Number 2. Shards of glass. According to a report from Buffalo, New York, a shard of glass was found inside a Tootsie Roll. The woman who found this shard says it seemed to have been carefully placed in the roll deliberately. Besides this Tootsie Roll, she found some shards in a Snickers and a Twix too. The poor woman was just trying to have a piece of candy. How could she have guessed someone had placed a sharp piece of glass inside it? Thankfully, she saw this glass before swallowing the candy and got away with it. Otherwise, this shard could have torn out her gut or caused internal bleeding. In a similar event in 2016, a razor was discovered in a Tootsie Roll from a child's Halloween candy in Wilson and Manistee County. Number 1. Cyanide. Ronald Clark O'Brien is also known as the Candyman, and this name has a pretty frightening story behind it. This man was convicted in 1974 for feeding his children cyanide-laced pixie sticks on Halloween. The candy was collected by his children while trick-or-treating, and he tampered with it so that by killing his children, he could claim the life insurance money for his own financial ease, since the man was knee-deep in debt. He gave the poisoned candy to his son, daughter, and 5 other children to avoid getting caught, but fortunately, no other child ate the candy except for his own son, who died because of his father's greed. Ronald was convicted of capital murder and sentenced to death for his heinous crime. It's just unbelievable how a father would stoop so low as to poison his own child's Halloween candy. But this guy did it, and we can't be more sorry for the little boy who lost his life because of him. It's just tragic.
Well, that was it for this video. What did you guys think of our pigs? Let us know in the comment section down below. We post the most amazing and interesting videos one could imagine. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos.